Faves! Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my August faves and fails. I don't have a lot of fails, which makes me super happy, but that could also be because I'm kind of working out a fast, easy, well put together makeup routine that I've been working on with my skin and some new products. Some of these products I've definitely talked about before, kind of just like choppy though, never like consistently. So I thought I would let you guys know kind of what I am loving right now. Some of it is from Boxycharm. One of them I think is from Ipsy. Some of them are throwbacks to old Boxycharm products that I purchased myself that I was like, I remember loving this. So I'm here to give you an update and let you know some stuff that did not work for me or I just don't like very much. And I do have one lifestyle like fave for the month because a lot of you have been commenting on something you've noticed in my videos. So let's jump in. Also, really quickly, happy Labor Day weekend. As you guys know, or you may not know, actually, we do have a hurricane kind of coming our way. As of the moment I am filming this, I think the Tampa area is going to be fine. So thank you so much for your messages and love that I've been seeing in my Instagram. I don't think it is coming our way, fingers crossed. And I hope all of you that may be in the eye or the path of this, please stay safe. Thinking about you guys right now. Also in my faves and fails, I love to do shout outs because you guys are really my favorite part of the month. You guys are why I do this every single week, twice a week. So at the end of this video, I'm going to be shouting out a few of my frequent commenters and people who have been Instagramming me to check on me and just being a real great makeup pal. So stay tuned to the end for that. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is something that if you do follow me on Instagram, and if you don't, really quickly, I thought I'd let you know, you can follow me right here to see some behind the scenes footage, me trying makeup, trying face products, all kinds of things. I talked about this on Friday night. My Friday night was so lit that all I did was pretty much do a LMS Superfood Vital Veggie face mask. This stuff is amazing. I forgot how good it was, but every time I pull it back out and put it on my skin and kind of let it sit, do its thing, and then take it off, my skin feels like I just, what is it called, dermaplaning? I feel like I just dermaplaned my face. It is so smooth. And I have learned kind of like, I have a lot of peach fuzz on my cheeks, which is why one of the fails that I have that I'm gonna be talking about never worked for me, but my husband loves it. He shaves his face all the time, so makes sense. But my peach fuzz always kind of like, it gives you like a little nice luminosity on camera, so not all bad, but with certain products it doesn't work well. But this makes my skin feel so smooth, like a baby's butt, like glass. It feels so nice. I am definitely loving this, using this, and even tagging it on Instagram. Something that just has never worked for me, and I've tried it 2 or 3 times, but my husband discovered it and he loves it, is the Wander Beauty Lift Off Mask. Now this was kind of like polarizing when I talked about this in a previous video. Half of you said you couldn't get it to peel off, and the other half of you said you had a beautiful experience with it. Everything came off and it was amazing. So I think that also attributes to the type of skin you have and the peach fuzz, as I like to call it. You know, you just get the little baby hairs on your face, just those little fuzzies. For me, it holds on to those so you can't pull it off. I ended up having to wash it off the first time. Even no matter how much product I've applied, and I've applied a thick layer, it never works for me. But my husband, who shaves his face obviously, really liked this, was able to peel everything off and said his skin felt great, which is pretty much what the other half of you said. When I said it didn't work well for me, the other half of you that said it did work good for you said you really enjoyed it. So while this is a fail for me, my husband actually really likes it. He has really great skin. It's kind of annoying because he doesn't even do much, but when he does want to do something, now he likes to pull this little baby out. So it's a fave fail, really. Something that I use in the mornings is a face primer, and a lot of times I need a pore filling primer because these are bossy. They just are. And the e.l.f. poreless putty primer, I think this is still hard to get. e.l.f., hook a sister up because this stuff is amazing. I literally just scoop my finger in, sweep it across the areas that I need it the most, and kind of press and sweep into them. It does a great job of really taking care of my bossy pores. Still totally loving this. Part of my very fast makeup routine lately has been just using some staple products for a base makeup that are working well for my skin. I've told you guys, now that I'm going through surgical menopause, I'm normally very oily, but I have a tendency now to have some spots of dryness or just also some breakouts and stuff. So a foundation that I've learned I really like the formula of. I wish I could get a little bit better of a skin tone match, but right now I'm using whatever I can that goes well with my face. This is the CoverGirl plus Olay Simply Ageless 3-in-1 foundation. Back in the day, eons ago, when I was in high school, we're talking teenage years, they also still have this little saucer pan one that you can put like your hand into or a sponge into. Of course, I used my hand in high school because I didn't understand the sponge thing then. I loved this stuff back then, and I didn't have any wrinkles, mind you. There was no maturing skin in the least, but I thought I'm being preventative, and I remember really liking it. What I like about this is that it does have some moisture to it, but not so much that my skin reacts poorly to it. So I have been loving using this every single day, along with a concealer that I talked about, I believe, last year or maybe in the beginning of this year, but haven't really talked about a lot since. I rediscovered this. I've been using my e.l.f. Camo 16-hour camouflage concealer, and I think that stuff is great. I really do like it, but it does settle into the under eye lines a little quicker than I would like, especially when you're not moving super fast and you're just kind of taking your time with your makeup. Even on a fast day, slow day, whatever day, what I still really love, but it is kind of pricey, is the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer from Too Faced. The shade I have here is Porcelain. The shade I had over here in the CoverGirl Olay is 250 Creamy Beige. I feel like this pulls a little pink tinge on me, and this one might be a little bit yellow, but they tend to balance each other out. So in real life, this just looks like really nice skin. It doesn't look like I have a huge like face mask on, I don't think. And I also do go down my neck a little bit, so try to make everything match. But I do wish this was a little less pink, and I wish this was a little less yellow. But it all tends to blend out really well on my skin, and it also highlights under the eyes. I really like that about this concealer. It highlights. So far I'm really enjoying, and I've been doing this for what, 2-3 weeks now in a row, and I'm really liking how my makeup wears, how it lasts, and if it does settle down, how it settles. So I'm enjoying these two as a combo right now a lot, especially when I'm kind of figuring out my whole skin thing. That's probably going to change, but right now this is what I am loving. And when I apply this concealer after I've put on my foundation, I do put it under the eyes in that like triangular little way, on the forehead, down the nose, on the top lip, and down here to kind of lighten. This is like a very easy face highlighter, as if I was going to contour, even though I really wasn't doing much contouring, if that makes any sense. It says it's multi-use, and I really think it is. It does help to conceal my fine lines, but also my dark circles, any like imperfections on my skin. This is a pricier item, but I really do enjoy this, and I've been reusing this a lot. Again, the e.l.f. Camo concealer is much cheaper. It is still a very good product, but you gotta move much quicker with that product, or you'll get a little bit of creasing right under the eyes. I've mentioned this now in the last video I did, and this was definitely in my Boxycharm unboxing. I adore this Becca Hydra Mist Set and Refresh Powder. It refreshes my makeup. It sets down my makeup. It does a great job. I use it a lot with a damp beauty sponge right after I have put on my base pieces here, my concealer and foundation. I will then set my whole face with the damp beauty sponge, pop it in here, and put it all over my face to really set it down. And then what I've been doing, and I know some of you oily skin girls are saying you're having issues with it, either your makeup kind of just like going into your fine lines and or falling off your face. I will then, after that step, spray my face. I either use the Urban Decay All Nighter. Sometimes I'm still finishing up my ColourPop one that I've had for a while, and I'm at the very bottom. It's the All Star. I use both of those, or either or of those, not at the same time. I use either or of those to kind of spray down my face to just kind of like set everything in, and then I go in with brows and kind of go on about my business. But that is how I've loved using this, and for touch-ups. If and when I do get a little cakey or a little oily in the afternoons, because that is still happening for me, I'll just take a fluffy brush, dip into this, and go onto my exact areas that I need it the most, and it just livens up my makeup. And if anything has settled into some fine lines, especially on my expressive forehead, that does help to put it all back together. I love this powder so much. And P.S. it is going to be in the Ulta 21 day sale. Wanted to mention that because, I mean, love, love, love. You need a backup if you love this, because, I mean, Love it. I think it's gonna be like 19 bucks or something. I put it in my Instagram. Again, follow me on Instagram. I try to give you guys tips on cheap makeup that's amazing too. The next step I usually do in makeup is a bronzer. And I have gone back and forth over the years with bronzers. You guys still know I love my Physicians Formula, but the one that's really been working for me very well, it is super buildable and the color tone just works for me really well right now since I've been indoors a lot this summer, is the number 7 Maple Bronzer. And if this amount of pan doesn't give you enough of endorsement that I use this on the regular, I don't know what does. I use it on my face, like right here, to kind of use it as a little bit of a contour bronzer where I'll kind of build it up right here in the hollows of my cheeks and then kind of blend it so that way it starts to marry up so you get that warmth for the bronzer look up on my forehead as well. And then I also use it on my nose to kind of to contour my nose, but nothing too extreme. And then also under my neck to kind of pull it all down because right now, as I've said, I'm trying to match with some colors. So I really like this. I've been using this up. I've had this for a long time too. So I'm really glad that I'm getting a lot of use out of it this summer. It doesn't have any smells or anything like Physicians Formula does, but it's a really good product that I can absolutely recommend because it does build. It is a little bit pricier. Number 7 at the drugstore is known to be a bit on the more expensive side, but I have been able to build it up. So when I'm paler, I only need so many swipes of this. Whereas when I'm darker, I can still use this. I just build it up kind of like you would a butter bronzer. So I still really like this. And right now the color and tone, it's a bit more cool, so it works better for me right now. I've got 2 highlighters that I've been going back and forth with this month. One of them is a drugstore item and one of them is a high-end item. I just feel like they're both stunning and beautiful. The first one I'm going to talk about is the low end. This is the Wet n Wild Precious Petals. And again, you can see how much pan is on this baby to be an endorsement for how much I genuinely love this product. I am still so sad that it sounds like Wet n Wild is no longer cruelty-free as far as the actual cruelty-free community goes. But I am trying to finish up some of the things that I have in my collection, and this is definitely one of them because I've already hit pan. This is beautiful on the skin. It lays as well as the next product I'm going to be talking about, which is a Becca highlighter. I mean, you're comparing a $4.99 product to an expensive Becca product? Yeah, I am, because they're both amazing. They go on the skin beautifully, and this is actually what I'm wearing today. This is the Becca Champagne Pop. This sucker, I was gifted this earlier this year by one of you guys who told me that it just didn't work for you and you wanted me to see if I loved it. I use it all the time. I used it today on my upper cheekbones here to really give you a little bit of glow at the tops of my face, on the nose, on the inner corner, up under the brow, and sometimes I'll put it on the shoulders, on the collarbones here. I love this stuff and think it is so stunningly beautiful. I love the formula. And if I was still really buying Wet n Wild, I would say I wish that they would come out with the color just like this, because the color is a universally beautiful color on so many skin tones. When I'm fair, I can wear it. When I'm dark, I can wear it. I know this is kind of like a cult classic. Everybody really loves this color from Becca. Same with the Precious Petals color here from Wet n Wild, though. This is the one I think most people really enjoy because it is so universal in color. I reached for these a lot this August. A mascara that we got from Boxycharm last year. I told you guys at first, not impressed, not impressed. But once you give some mascaras time to oxidize, to kind of get thicker, the quality of the product gets so much better. And that is how I still feel about the Tartist mascara. The first time I got it, wasn't a big fan, was like, ugh, whatever. And then I stopped talking about it, but I kept wearing it until it got to like the halfway through its life, and then it gets stunning. Same thing happened with this. When I first put it on, it was very lackluster lashes. They weren't amazing, they didn't give great volume, they just kind of like lightly coated the lash for me, and then we're whatever. But you let it live about 2-3 weeks in the tube, keep going back to it, trying it. By week 3, I swear, it gets this beautiful thickness to your lashes. It gets this voluminosity and length to it that I'm not wearing any falsy lashes today intentionally. Even though I know false lashes look better on camera, especially when you have a lot of makeup going on, I wanted to showcase the lashes today because I think, even though they're not as good as like the falsies that you gotta glue on and spend an extra 20 minutes doing. They look great, and in person they look even better. I still really like this formula. I wish it was amazing out the gate, but I don't understand enough about chemistry to figure out how that would even work, so maybe this is the best way it can live its life. I do recommend this mascara if you have tried it or never tried it, but for me, it works better about 2-3 weeks in. But it is a pricier item, but if you ever see it on sale, it's a good one to get. Something that I'm not loving as much, even though I love the brand and I love so much of their makeup, is this Ofra Lippy that we got from Boxycharm. This one is in the shade Monaco. It's more of this metallic lip that looks much better once you put it on top of something. I made the mistake several times of just trying to wear this alone, and I was always disappointed. It was always patchy, it never looked right, and it has this weird metal lip thing to it that isn't really my jam. I really prefer their regular formulas, like you guys know. I am obsessed with Miami Fever. This is one of my jams. This is gonna definitely be in my year-end Boxycharm videos where I'm talking about the best and worst and favorite brand. Ofra does a great job, which is why I was so disappointed with this Monaco one. But I think it's also because they're trying to make it that metal lip, that metallic lip. It's just not my jam. But even now, I've had this on for at least 30-40 minutes and it's still like pulls. It's still sticky. When you put your lips together, you still feel it. When you eat anything, it will, like, especially if there's any oils to it, like a salad, it's gonna like come off. This isn't my favorite formula from Ofra, which is why I think I hold it to a higher standard, because I love so much from Ofra. This one's just kind of the disappointing one of the bunch for me personally, but I'm also just not a metallic lip person. Do you guys still like this? I'm pretty positive we got this in Boxycharm. And at the end of the day, when it's time to wash off my face, I got this from Ipsy, and I am enjoying it so far. This is the Murad Hydration AHA BHA Exfoliating Cleanser. I will use this at the end of my day to kind of take everything off before I use any of my night serums, and I actually like this a lot. I like Murad though. I've mentioned before, I think the brand's really great. I've tried some of their stuff before. I've never tried this, but there's so much in here that I was hoping I would like it, because I was like, this is going to be a lot to give away if I end up not liking it. But I am enjoying it. I kind of like that it's not too rough when I exfoliate my skin too, to kind of like take off my makeup at the end of the day. But I will say I've probably only used this like every other day or every third day, just because I don't want to over exfoliate with all my skin issues going on right now. But so far, really liking this. So now for a lifestyle item. A lot of you comment on my teeth throughout my channel. Really, I've heard a lot of people saying that you really like how white my teeth are and you want to know what I use. This is a newer product for me, but I've definitely noticed a difference. So that's why I'm bringing it up now. But it's so funny because I actually don't think I have that great of teeth, but so many of you tell me how good they look, so thank you. Right now, what I am attributing that to is a new toothbrush that I am using. This is not a sponsorship. They don't know who I am, but this is a pricier item. This is the Oral-B Genius brush. It says Oral-B Brawn on the bottom, but the actual full name is the Genius brush. It is like the bougiest type of toothbrush you could probably buy. Yeah, it's got Bluetooth. Yeah, it does all kinds of things, different settings. The head I prefer is the floss one, because then it can really get into the grooves of my teeth. And I know what you're thinking, why do you need a toothbrush with Bluetooth? It apparently has this app thing, one that'll tell you when it needs to be charged and stuff, but also tells you how you're brushing your teeth, how well you're doing it, if you're doing it too hard. Also, it lights up down here and it'll vibrate and show you a color if you're too hard on yourself. It's got a lot of like smart options, which is great, because actually I don't have the best teeth. I love that you guys think that I do, but it's because I really do try to keep them white. I do try to maintain them as best I can. If you go back to an old video of mine, like my first year of my channel, you'll know why I don't really have great teeth. It was called the 25 Facts About Me, like the first year of my channel. Actually, there's an actual name for it, but I can't remember what it is. I don't have all adult teeth. I actually have some baby teeth, and luckily they have really long roots and they're healthy, but I don't have adult teeth behind them. There's actually like a genetic disorder about that. How many beauty YouTubers would tell you this? But I'm actually missing one way back here that I'd love to get a permanent for, but you have to, there's a lot to it. There's like, you gotta find the right dentist that'll actually do it, because not every dentist can do it. It's crazy expensive. It's a long process, yada, yada, yada. I do what I can to maintain the health of my teeth, and luckily so far it's working. So I really have been enjoying this these past few months, and that's really when you guys started asking me more. Wow, your teeth look great. I love the shape of this, but I also really appreciate all of the options this sucker has to keep my mouth healthy. think that is everything for my August faves. I've kind of been doing a similar routine on a daily basis to really try to figure out my skin right now and see what works best for my long-term makeup during the day. I want it to last all day if it can, and so far these products have really been helping me and I've been really enjoying them. Now, I want to get into my shout outs for the month. On Instagram, Lexi8402, I know you have reached out to me through my whole surgery process and you just underwent a shoulder surgery. I am sending you so much love and support right now, girl. I'm wishing you well. PagerBear03 on Instagram. You have been messaging me throughout as well. I just wanted to take a quick moment to shout you out and say, hey girl, I so appreciate the love and all of your comments, even on my YouTube, even on my Instagram. You guys are amazing. And you never know, you could be shouted out in my next Faves and Fails video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you happen to be new to my crazy little channel, hi new friends. I hope you take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button down below to see all of the fun, loud, weird, unique videos I do every single week. Bye friends.